Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Faith. I haven't done my makeup for the day, but that's okay because we're just going to be talking about eyeshadow palettes. This is my entire eyeshadow palette collection. We're going to be decluttering for the new year, starting with eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to try really hard to get rid of some things, so let's get into the video. Okay, I'm going to start in the top right section. Actually, it might be left for you guys. I really don't know. It always like reverses the camera. This is a palette from Makeup Revolution. It's the Pro HD Amplified 35 palette. I have a tutorial on my channel. It actually did pretty well. A lot of people watched that video. I don't know if they were seeking out a tutorial on this palette in particular or just the fact that it was a Makeup Revolution palette. I will link that video down below in the description bar if you want to see a tutorial with this. Since I've done that video, I have not used this palette. I did like the palette. I actually really liked the look that I came up with, but I just haven't used it and I don't really know why. I have so many other palettes and sometimes I forget about some, but I think I'm going to keep this just in case I ever want to do another affordable full makeup tutorial, because this is a really good affordable palette and this you can get in store at Ulta, which is really nice. So I'm going to keep this. Next up, I have 3 eyeshadow palettes from IBY Beauty. Sorry if the camera's shaking. I keep like hitting it because it's right here in front of me, but these 3 palettes are from IBY Beauty. They are a newer brand. You may not have heard of them, although I do talk about them a lot. I really love their liquid liner. It was in my best of beauty for 2018. Their eyeshadow palettes are okay. They're not my favorite. This is the Poolside palette. Is that in focus? Hello? Yeah, this is the Poolside palette. It's not my favorite. I think I am going to get rid of this. Just another little quick thing here, disclaimer. I've only used this like once or twice. I'll probably give this to a friend or my sister, but I will not resell used makeup or send used makeup to people I don't know. It's just, I don't think it's a good idea. So just want to put that out there, but I probably will give this to a friend. I've only used it once or twice, even though it looks so dirty. I'm a really messy eyeshadow person. Like, my palettes look like crap after one use. But they also have the City Limits palette. I think I might have used this in like a new makeup or first impressions tutorial. Again, the quality of these is not awesome. They're kind of powdery and the shimmers are just like okay. I love IBY Beauty though. I feel bad, but I'm not a fan of their eyeshadows. This one actually, the Desert Vibes, was my favorite of all 3 of these, so I may keep this one. It has the best quality and the shades I like the most, so I am going to keep this one so that I have one IBY Beauty palette in case I ever want to do more with this brand. Okay, next up we have this palette from Makeup Geek. This was their fall release. I can't remember. It was called like Pumpkin Spice or something like that. I'm definitely going to keep this. I love these shades and I could always depot these and put them in a Z palette with my other Makeup Geek shadows, because all of these shadows that they put in their seasonal palettes are also single shadows that you can just buy. So I'm definitely going to keep this, but again, I think I might like take it out of here because this palette alone, like, it doesn't have a really light shimmer shade or a really deep like dark color. So as a palette alone, I don't love it for that. I mean, I love the colors, but I just think it'd be better in like a Z palette with some other options as well. So I might do that with this. This is a palette I've included in a giveaway a couple times. I was sent a bunch of them. They're actually really, really cool duochrome shades. The brand is I never know how to say it, Syzygy. And it's the Comet Crush Chameleon eyeshadow palette. I think I'm going to keep this, even though I really don't ever use it, but I'm going to keep it because it's so unique. I have nothing else like it. All of the shades are super duochrome. Like, I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but they're really cool. And just in case I ever need something like that, I'm going to keep it. Next up is the Milani Bold Obsessions palette, and I do not use this nearly enough. This is an amazing drugstore eyeshadow palette. I'm definitely keeping it, one, just for everyday use, but also if I ever want to do another video with like affordable eyeshadow palettes or an affordable look, this is probably the first one I would reach for just because it's my favorite drugstore affordable palette. The quality is really, really good. You get a couple light shades and a really dark black, and then a bunch of neutrals, and it's just really nice. So I'm definitely keeping this. It's also pretty affordable. I think it's normally $20, but I got it on sale at Walmart for like $15 or something like that. Okay, this, I don't know if any of you guys will remember this, but this is a complete like no-name brand eyeshadow palette that I got on Amazon when I did my Amazon makeup tutorial. This was actually a really, really good palette. I have not reached for it since just because, I don't know, I feel like especially in videos I want to use palettes that are more recognizable, that more people would have, and this is just a really obscure palette. It's a really nice palette though. I think this would be a good one to like give to my sister or a friend because again, I've only used it once. It's really good quality. I just probably won't use it again because like I said, it's just an obscure palette that people don't know about, and I feel like, I don't know. I'm gonna give this to somebody who's gonna use it more and appreciate it. This is like one of the first eyeshadow palettes I ever had. This was from like TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something like that. I did use it quite a few times, but it's really, really bad quality. Like this is probably just gonna go in the trash also because it's 4 years old, like really old, and the quality is super bad. I have no idea who even makes it. Bear 10 Shadow Eye Palette. Yeah, Marshalls. It was $5 at Marshalls. It sucks. Sorry. Okay, next up I have this palette from Sleek. This is the Under a Spell palette. I don't really love these colors. They're kind of, I don't even know if I used this. I think I used this shade and these two shades in a tutorial, but the rest of the colors are just, I really don't like them. Like I would not gravitate towards the purples, the greens, the silver, and it's basically all shimmers except for these 4 shades. So this just is not a palette that I am going to reach for. I just know I'm not going to, so I'm going to give this to somebody. Next we have the Tarte in Bloom palette. I am definitely keeping this. I love this palette. This shimmer shade is so pretty, and I just love the variety. I love that it's a neutrals palette. It's super easy to use. The colors blend out so nicely. I don't use this nearly enough. I've just been like forgetting that I own this, but this is just such a good palette. This is a great palette for like brides, weddings. I used this on a bunch of bridesmaids when I helped my friend with her wedding. I don't actually do makeup, like I don't actually do that for a living or anything, but I did help once and I used this palette and it was just perfect. It looked good on everybody, so it's a really, really good palette, and I'm definitely keeping it. Okay, next up we have the Carly Bible palette from BH Cosmetics. This is not the like extended deluxe one. This is the original one, and I think I said this in a video. It was like top 5 best affordable eyeshadows and like bottom 5, or it was like best and worst affordable eyeshadow palettes or something like that. I'll find the video and link it down below. This was in my worst. I don't know. I do love the highlights, but the eyeshadows just don't blend on me. Like I don't know why. It's just not my favorite. I don't find the shimmers to be like that special. I don't know. I think this palette's probably really good for beginners. I just don't feel like the eyeshadows are very pigmented. So if you're new to makeup, that might be helpful because you don't want to like overdo it or mess up. But I just don't love this. I don't reach for it. So I'm going to give this to somebody who will use it. This next palette is from a brand called Manna Kadar. I don't think I've ever used this. It came with the mirror shattered, but I think I will give this to someone who would not care that the mirror shattered. I just like, I have so many palettes with colors like this. It just, I mean, the packaging's pretty, but I'd rather give it to somebody, and it's nice that I haven't actually used it at all, so it's basically brand new. Now I have a couple Morphe palettes. These are the Copper, what's it, 25A and 25B. One of them's called Copper something, I think it's this one, and then one of them's Bronzed Mocha. So this is the Copper one. The Copper one's a little bit more warm toned, and the bronzed one is a little bit more cool toned. I probably really don't need both of these, so I think if I had to choose, I would choose the Copper one. One, because it has a black and the bronzed one does not, and also because I prefer warm tones. So I'm going to keep, let me open this up so it stops glaring. I'm going to keep this one, And I'm going to give away the bronzed one. Okay, next I have this big palette. Can I open it? This big palette from Keira Beauty. Wow, I haven't opened this in a while. This looks kind of like the James Charles palette, does it not? Except for without the big shades in the middle. I don't know, it kind of just reminds me of that. This is actually a really nice palette. Keira Beauty is an affordable brand, and I only have used this once or twice. I'm definitely going to keep it though because it has some really fun shades that I don't have in other palettes. It also kind of reminds me of the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, but it's definitely not identical. It has more greens and blues, but I do really like this, and it's affordable. So again, if I want to talk about affordable eyeshadow palettes in a video, I'll have it, and it's just a good palette. It's the ES15 from Keira Beauty. Okay, now I have all of my palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm keeping all of these. Of course, these are gorgeous, beautiful palettes. I got the Soft Glam for Christmas. So I'm super excited to keep playing with that. I have the Norvina palette that has been loved and abused a few times, you can tell. We have the Modern Renaissance. This is probably my most used one. This is the oldest one I have. Really nice. Is that in focus? I am so sorry. I feel like I'm out of my element right now. This is not a normal angle that I'm filming. I also have Subculture. I did a ton of videos on that because of all the drama. And then I also have Prism. So I think the only ones I don't have the Makeup by Mario palette that was like a long time ago, and I don't have the Sultry palette. I think those are all the big ones. So I just don't have those two, but I have everything else. I've been thinking about doing a video on like how to choose an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette and like choosing from those. So if you want to see that, let me know. But next up I have the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. This is a beautiful palette. I have used it maybe 3-4 times. The formula it's like, I don't know, it's not my favorite. For such an expensive high-end palette, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like the shimmers are weird and the mattes are just kind of like chalky. I don't know how to explain it. It's not something I reach for all the time, just because I find it a little bit hard to work with, but I think I'm going to keep it just because it's a really nice palette and I just wouldn't want to get rid of it. It's just a really nice high-end palette, and maybe I'll just learn better ways to work with it. This next palette, I'm not sure I used it all. This is from Lancome. It was one of their newer releases. The shades really do not speak to me. They're all kind of like the same tone, and they're all cool. I think I'm going to give this to somebody who would use it more. It was really cool. They did send me this in PR, but I'm not going to use it. I just know I'm not. So, and it comes with a little brush too, which is nice. Next up we have the Desert Oasis palette from BH Cosmetics. I am definitely keeping this. This is a wonderful, wonderful affordable eyeshadow palette. I would rank this right up with the Bold Obsessions palette from Milani that I showed you. It's actually very similar in quality, and the tones are kind of the same as well. But this one's cool because you have 2 bronzers and a bunch of highlights on this side as well. But the eyeshadows are awesome. So I really love this palette. It was my first BH Cosmetics. Actually, no, that's a lie. The Carly Bible one is BH Cosmetics. This one is so much better quality. So it was the first BH Cosmetics palette I really liked, and it has intrigued me. I want to try more. I really want to try the Sylvia Ghani collaboration now, but I'm definitely keeping this. Next we have my most used palette of this entire collection of mine. This is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This, honestly, I kind of want to just buy a new one so that it looks pretty. This was the original release from Morphe with the cardboard, so it looks super dirty, but the ones that they sell at Ulta now are like glossed or whatever, so you can wipe it down. But I love this palette. I'm of course keeping it. It is the perfect palette in my opinion. It just has everything you would ever need to create any type of eye look, and I just love it. Next I have 4 palettes from the brand Karity. You probably are more familiar with Karity and their lip locks. I think that's what it's called. They became very popular for their lip lock liquid lipsticks, liquid matte lipsticks. They're like $6, and Karity altogether is a very affordable brand. But I also have all of their eyeshadow palettes. This is the matte eyeshadow palette with a ton of bright colors. I've actually never used this, but I want to keep it because it has so many vibrant colors. If I ever wanted to try a really cool, vibrant look, this is probably the palette I would go for, and yeah. Next is the Picante palette. I just used this in my New Year's Eve tutorial. This is a gorgeous palette. I love the tones, the warm tones. The only thing I guess I'd say is I wish it had a little bit of a darker shade and a lighter shade, because there wasn't really an inner corner highlight for my skin tone, and I love when palettes have a super dark brown or black, but the shades in here are really nice, and it's a nice balance between shimmers and mattes, so I'm going to keep that. Next is the Nudes and Rudes palette. This one I think I might give away or get rid of. The tones are very, like, it's cool toned, which is not really my thing. This does have a nice black and some light shades, but I really just don't enjoy cool tones, and I found that the quality of this was one of their earlier palettes. The quality of this one is not as good as those. So, well, I didn't try the matte one, but the Picante one definitely is better quality than this one. So I'm going to put this in the bin. And this is the Rose All Day palette. I was so excited when I saw this on their Instagram that it was going to be released, but I have to be honest, the pigmentation on these is not great. It's such a gorgeous palette, so it's really disappointing. It also doesn't have really a nice deep shade. This is the darkest, and it's really not that dark. It's so pretty. I hate to get rid of it, but maybe I'll just give it away to someone who wants to start playing with color. Again, it's just not very pigmented, so for someone who's new to makeup, it might be good, but I have enough. I mean, that's the only color I would really miss, but I think I have that somewhere. So I'm going to also put this in the bin. Next, we have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault collection. This was like the one set I did not know what I was going to do with in this video, because these did not work very well for me. But it's sad because I love the look of them. This is the Armed and Gorgeous. They were just hard to work with, so hard to work with. And it's super weird because these two orange shades are like identical. I don't know, I did not love it. I did a ton of videos on this as well. I'll try to remember to link them down below. This is Dark Magic. This one was like even worse to work with. This one is the Ring the Alarm palette. It wasn't very good, you guys. It just wasn't, and there's not much variety. Like all the tones, like look at 1, 2, 3. Those shades are so similar. I had a lot of problems with this. This one, I actually do like because I don't normally like purple palettes, and so most of my palettes don't have a lot of purple and like cool tones, but this one I do like. There's something about it that I do like, but again, look at these three. 1, 2, 3. They're so similar. Oh, I don't know what to do. I definitely want to keep this one. I did just do a look with this and I liked it. Actually, this was the palette I wore in my Christmas gift guide. A bunch of you guys really liked the look. This was the palette I used. But then I feel like if I keep one, I might as well just keep the whole collection. I guess because I really don't know. I'm just going to keep the whole collection. I probably won't use it much, but for now. Next up we have the Lorac Mega Pro 4. Is this the 4? Yeah, the Mega 4 palette. I don't know why I got this, to be honest. It doesn't really, I mean, it does look pretty, but first of all, I hate that Lorac's pan sizes is so small. It just, I don't know. I feel like it's just like claustrophobic. I guess you get more shades, and honestly, when are you ever going to hit pan on a shade? But this row does nothing for me. Neither does this row. This row, like over here, is okay. I never use this, you guys. Like, this green is kind of cool. That's neat. I don't have any other Lorac palettes, and I really love this cotton shade, this white. It's like a true white shade. Honestly, I might keep it just for that shade. It's a really pretty inner corner highlight, and then this foam shade is also really pretty. So I guess I'm going to keep this, even though the majority of the palette I don't like. I think I got this on like a super sale. Like, I did not buy this for full price, so that makes me feel better. Okay, this is from Cit London. It's the Glitter Storm palette. I did just do a tutorial on this. I will also link that down below. Oh, there's an eyelash stuck to it. That's nice. I have the hardest time opening this palette. Okay, here it is. It's very pretty. I'm definitely keeping it. The glitters up here are so beautiful. And you do not need a glitter glue. They stay on really nicely. Like, I would buy this just for the glitters. The mattes are super nice too. Actually, it's 4 mattes and then 2 like regular shimmer shades. This is a really nice palette. It is a little bit pricier, but it's just a super cool, unique palette, so I'm definitely keeping this. Next up is this from Urban Identity or Black Radiance. I don't know. I got it at Rite Aid. This is a weird palette. I don't know why I got this. I think it was on sale. I don't think I bought it for $8, but it's just these shimmer shades. They're okay. And it comes with lashes. I should probably just use the lashes. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the lashes out and then just get rid of this because I don't use it. It is pretty. I don't know, should I keep it? I literally haven't looked at this in over a year. Yeah. I'll use the lashes and then get rid of this. And the last palette, this is from Flesh. I also did a tutorial on Flesh Beauty. This was not cheap. Flesh Beauty is expensive AF. The quality is really good, but it's so expensive. I don't remember how much it was, but it was not cheap for just this amount of shadows. Like, I think it was about 40 or 45, and you don't get a lot. So I do like that it has a really nice light shade and then a black shade. I think I will keep it just because it's different. Not a lot of people have this Flesh Beauty. It was a new makeup line at Ulta this year, and I do really like it. Like, it is good quality. It's just I have a hard time recommending it. Those two kind of suck. But I have a hard time recommending it just because of the price. It is really good, but it's not like that good, you know what I mean? But I am going to keep it. Okay, you guys, so this is the throwaway bin. I think I did pretty good. And then this is the keep pile. That is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next one.